Hello, and welcome to another edition of Ben Wolkoff Debriefs the Transition. For the last debrief of the week, I decided to do it in my office because it's in the moment and I get to talk through something that I've been thinking about a lot today. And that is this. What does it mean to be data-driven? To have data-driven decisions, to be a data-driven district, and really thinking about all of the data that we might take into account. The reason why I'm thinking about this is I feel extremely lucky to have gone on so many school visits with Steve Clagg and to take part in the process of talking with school principals about things that they need. That to me is really important and valuable data. When people are expressing needs, that is the data that I want to hear, and I want to be able to use that data to inform the decisions that we make about where we support, how we support, the types of funding supports, and that kind of thinking really makes me feel good about the decisions that we are making. And I'm not sure how this is going to shake out, but there is a version of the future where all of the data that we collected from the 13 principals and school teams that we met with will get pushed aside and the decisions will be made in another way based upon another set of needs or a different understanding of the needs expressed. And that, to me, is a struggle. There is a version of the future where we use all of the data, and it's not just that I was part of collecting it, that I feel beholden to it. It is the fact that it is directly from the people that we are supporting, that we are taking it upon ourselves to learn from, to co-create with, and that's the data that I want to be looking at. The other data, the data of a maybe more district-wide perspective or high-level data, I feel as though that can be a red herring. That can be data that we might not need to pay attention to. It might be data that is actually counter to the needs of some of our schools or some of our people in our schools. And so for me, it has to be about choosing the right data. And I think this goes for supporting teachers as well. What is the data that we are listening to when we are talking to teachers? I really loved the discussion today around how we include equity, how we include 21st century skills, how we include these planning tools within our conversations with teachers, with leaders. And how do we listen for the data of, I need more lesson plan resources, or I need to think differently about my lesson to include these, whether it's asset focus factors or rigor, like that I need to choose the right data. And to me, the determination of what is the right data is the conversation about data-driven instruction, data-driven decisions, because if we choose the wrong data, if we choose only the standardized test data rather than the formative assessment data that teachers are collecting all day, every day, then I think the decisions we will make are maybe not as good as they could be. If we choose the data that says that these are the schools that absolutely need they're on turnaround, and so they need all of the resources, and the schools that are in performance, that they don't need any of the resources. I'm not sure that's the right data to be looking at in order to be able to make decisions. And I think there's a lot more that we could be doing to not just analyze the data to make those better decisions, but to actually choose the right data. And so I guess it's bigger than what does it mean to be data-driven? It is what is the right data to drive? What is the right data to drive our decisions, our instruction, our district? And so I guess that's the question that I'm left with, is what is the data that we are going to choose to use as we make our decisions about our team, about the future, about our support? I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are around the data you choose to use to make your decisions and why you choose that data, because I think there's a lot of value in making those important decisions. One small caveat on this conversation. I understand that I use data probably incorrectly. I should be using data as a plural noun rather than a singular noun, and I sometimes incorrectly do that. For those of you who care about that sort of thing, I'm going to continue to do that because that is the way that my mind works. So enjoy that and be annoyed by it, I guess. I hope you have a great day of creating, learning, leading. Talk to you soon.